Just over 6 years ago, at the butt crack of dawn, I underwent voluntary kidney donation surgery to help save my daughter's life. My name is Manny Faces, and I'm a hip-hop journalist and author. Normally, I make videos about how hip-hop music and culture are being used in innovative, inspiring, and sometimes surprising ways to help improve society and uplift lives, livelihoods, and communities outside of the entertainment stuff, in areas like education, health and wellness, science and technology, politics and activism, business and entrepreneurship, stuff like that. But every year around this time, I use my platform to tell a bit of my story, in the hopes that it can inform or even inspire someone else who might be in the shoes that I was in back in 2019. At the time, my daughter, #OldestGirlFaces, aka Portia, aka Porsche Delancey, had both of her kidneys fail due to a blood illness that had gone undiscovered for too long. As she sat on the 7-ish year-long organ donation list and during her 4 years on 3 times a week dialysis treatments, I underwent a bunch of tests to determine if I could be a suitable kidney donor. At the time, my daughter was 27 years old. Me? Oh, I was like 40-something. Don't be nosy. The point is, normally, this goes the other way around. A child tries to find out if they can donate a kidney to an ill, aging parent. But for any potential donor, the procedure is pretty much the same. First, they check for a blood type match. Now, I got the good blood, O negative, so I'm a universal donor, and that's a plus. So next, they do a specialized blood match test. Pinch of mine, a splash of hers, mix them up, and look for some kind of medically scientifical bad reaction. But it was all good. Like half ebony and ivory, our blood lives in perfect harmony. So, long story short, we were pretty much good to go. Now, overall, and as you might expect with close relatives, the chances are better, but not guaranteed, that a transplant would be successful. I mean, even as blood besties, nothing is guaranteed. However, as a potential donor learns through a few training, aka "you sure you want to do this" sessions, humans have gotten pretty damn good at kidney transplants. So even a relatively healthy 40-something-year-old can be a solid candidate. Now, for those who don't know, and I didn't really think about it before all this, you can live a perfectly healthy life with just one kidney. In fact, I even heard stories where grown-ass people had lived their whole life with only one kidney without ever knowing it until some other medical procedure called and said, "Surprise." Now, I will shamelessly admit that I asked, "Can I still drink, though?" They basically said, of course, that would be an issue if it was the liver, to which I replied, "Okay, good, because otherwise I would have had to tell my daughter, girl, there must be another way." I was joking, of course. Still, the truth is that after recovering from the surgery, as long as you don't do anything crazy like get diabetes or get stabbed in your remaining kidney, it's kind of like the ServPro of organ donation.
Like it never even happened.
Though I do have a hell of a C-section scar and 4 tiny incision scars. I just tell people that I had a breached baby right after getting shot. No one believes me, but whatever. Anyway, assuming her body didn't outright reject what the doctors later called a fantastic kidney, thank you very much, my daughter would just have to take like 4,200 pills every hour or whatever for the rest of her life. But aside from that, she too would be perfectly fine and could live a fully functional life once again, which she is and which she has. Now, eventually, because she's so young, she might actually need another transplant. Apparently, organs transplanted from a deceased donor can last maybe 10 years, while organs from a living, related donor can push a bunch more. It's not inevitable, but it might be necessary for her to do this again in like a decade. Though to be fair, by then there'll probably be 3D printing kidneys left and right, so hopefully it won't be too bad. Hey, want to see something cute? Last year, after talking about it forever, we got matching tattoos to mark the date. She had others, but it was my first, and now, of course, I want 70,000 more, but them are expensive, and I'm just a lowly, self-employed journalist, author, podcaster, and independent scholar talking about the cultural and social benefits of hip-hop music and culture, which isn't exactly Rock Nation's gonna manage you type stuff. Which is why you could consider supporting my Patreon. Not for tattoos, but so I can keep doing the important hip-hop can save America stuff that I normally do here. Anyway, I digress. Now, we just celebrated our 6th kidneyversary, and I do like to take time each year reaching out to my audiences to preach the gospel of kidney donation. If you know someone who needs a kidney, consider being a donor. If you're suffering through kidney disease, feel free to share my story to help entice folks to consider donating. I'm happy to talk more about it and answer any questions anyone might have about the surgery, pretty intense, the recovery, about 2 weeks before I could really move around like normal, after 6 weeks, pretty much back 100%. About life since then, nothing kidney related at all, honestly, like it never happened. So feel free to reach out if you want to know more. And if this really resonated with you and you want to hear more from my brilliant and beautiful daughter and I about our specific experiences, you could check out this great video we did to celebrate our 1-year kidniversary, one that we sadly couldn't share together thanks to COVID. Anyway, so thank you for giving me a few moments of your time to share this with you. As some folks know, my debut book is ready to be released, but it's been delayed slightly. I feel like it's one of my life's greatest accomplishments, and I'm nervously excited to share it with the world. But this was definitely one of my life's greatest decisions. Even though Portia's my child who I love dearly, and we would do anything for our children, I also had baby girl faces to think about. At the time, she was only 4, and you do have to think long and hard about all of the possibilities. Portia understood my decision couldn't be automatic. Plus, come on, it's freaking scary. I ain't no punk, but still. That all being said, in the end, it really didn't take much convincing at all. And clearly, I know I made the right choice, which is why I fully encourage everyone to consider my story if it ever becomes a choice that you have to make. Thank you for your time. Until next time, peace and love to you and yours.
Manny Faces.
You sick for this one. Sick for this one. Sick for this one.